Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. We're going to be doing another Q&A video. We got some really interesting topics that we have to break down. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay guys, so if you want to be featured in the next Q&A video, please be sure to go over to my community tab right now. If you guys don't know where the tab is, all you need to do is go to my channel, and near the videos section you will see a tab that says community. Go there, go to the latest post and comment a question or theory that you would like to see answered in a new video. This can be to do with Superman, Lois, to do with the Flash, to do with the DCEU, to do with DCTV, Warner Brothers, anything like that. I'll be sure to answer it if it's a good question. Also, before we get into this video, remember I have new merch. Those of you guys who have been watching all the recent videos know that this is the second drop that we've done and it's going pretty well right now, so I really appreciate it if you guys are getting merch. You'll see on the screen right here, this is what the merch looks like, and obviously we put a lot of effort designing it and making it. So if you want some really nice comfy merch that is sustainable, please be sure to go to the link in the description below and go get a t-shirt, hoodie, or whatever you guys want to get. So for now, let's go ahead and get into today's main topics, and we're going to be breaking down your questions bit by bit. Let's answer the first one. This is from CV on YouTube, who asks, do you want to see a Green Arrow movie with Stephen Amell as the Green Arrow? Stephen Amell did say he would like to return again. That's entirely true. Stephen Amell did say he would like to return as Arrow if the right project came around. Same thing for Grant Gustin, because Grant said when the Flash actually was ending in an interview that if he got given a really good script and, you know, it felt right to him, he would totally be down to come back as the Flash. Obviously he's going to take a break, just like Stephen took a break. Stephen returned in the Flash's final season, but now beyond this, are we ever going to see Stephen as Arrow again? Well, yeah, he said actually in the past maybe a mini series of Green Arrow that would be like the perfect opportunity to go back, like maybe 8 episodes or something, and it's just like an extra story, but also it's a way to round out his character even more. And obviously he probably misses the character. Like, he was with the character for such a long time and he finally returned to it, but now he's not with it again because he's just back to focusing on Heels, his wrestling show that he's been working on for the last couple of years. And so in terms of Stephen Amell returning as Green Arrow in a Green Arrow movie, let's talk about Green Arrow movie first and then we'll get to Stephen. So right now over at DC Studios, they've already announced the films that are going to be in like the first half of the first chapter of the DCU. And so Supergirl has a film in there, you've got a Green Lantern show and various other projects that we all know about. And obviously we're looking forward to Superman Legacy, we're looking forward to Batman the Brave and the Bold. But could a Green Arrow movie slot in somewhere? Well, I would say, yeah, probably it could be later on, like maybe the second half of chapter 1. That's definitely a possibility. It all really depends on what James Gunn and Peter Safran are trying to build towards. If they're trying to build towards a Justice League, I think they should go with Green Arrow just because he's such a popular character, obviously because of the TV show, and he would make a great addition to the Justice League. I don't think they're going to go traditional Justice League characters again like they did in the Justice League films with Zack Snyder. And so I think they should go a little bit different, and Green Arrow would be that perfect addition along with, you know, other characters like Supergirl as well. And so, yeah, I think Stephen could return if James Gunn thought it was a good idea and whoever turns out to be the director of that eventual film. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see Green Arrow in the future of the DCU. I just don't know when. So yeah, I think possibly, maybe more likely to be chapter 2 rather than this chapter, so it will be like 5+ years until we even get to hear about anything like this. But if we get lucky, we might get to see them earlier if there is like a Green Arrow limited series. Obviously they're trying to build up the DCU in the television world as well, so if they want to have, you know, any sort of link to the Arrowverse, they could bring back Stephen for a Green Arrow miniseries and maybe link it to the DCU. Or Stephen could just play like a different version of Green Arrow, and so it wouldn't be linked to the Arrowverse, but he would be still playing the same character. So thank you for the question, CV. Let's move on to the next question. This comes from Rafario Jr., who asks, what are your expectations on the other DC movies such as Blue Beetle and Superman Legacy? So Blue Beetle is coming out next month. I was actually lucky enough to see Blue Beetle. I got to see it last week. I know it's super early. I can't talk about it. I can't even tell you if I thought it was good or bad. I can only tell you I've seen the film. So obviously I've got expectations, and I had expectations going into it. I've seen it. I will tell you my thoughts when I'm allowed to say anything. But as for Superman Legacy, of course I'm excited. I'm excited to see the new Superman Lois, and hopefully Superman Lois the TV show continues until season 5 and it leads towards Superman Legacy and we get this new Superman. I don't want him to be like Henry Cavill. I don't want them to do Man of Steel. I want them to do a totally different Superman film, just like Superman Lois is totally different from Man of Steel. So yeah, that's my expectations. I want something different. I want Superman Legacy to start something, but I don't want it to go too big. Like, it shouldn't be a huge film. It should be a introductory film, kind of like how the Batman was like this great introduction to Robert Pattinson's Batman. So I want to be introduced to the Superman and Lois, but at the same time tease what's to come, but don't go too huge with it. Okay, so the next question comes from Sky Chaser. They ask, so in your opinion, when do you think Melissa Benoist's Girls on the Bus is going to air? So that's a series that we talked about for quite a while. This is going to be coming out on HBO Max, aka Max. It's actually scheduled to premiere in 2023 on Max. I don't know with the strikes and everything if that's going to affect it, but they finished filming like a couple of months back, like maybe in April or something. And so yeah, this is being produced by Berlanti. So it's obviously linked to what Melissa's done in the past. Melissa is starring in the show. She's one of the main characters along with 3 or 4 other main actors. And so as far as I know, it should be coming out this year. Right now we're at the end of July. Obviously we got a bunch of months until the end of the year. So I think it's probably going to be closer to the end of the year by the time that we actually see it. So I reckon sometime around like November might be a good guess. So that's kind of the update on that. We've heard nothing in the way of delays, but that's what we know right now. So Sky Chaser also asks, what's going on with Kyla Lee? So you guys know Kyla Lee played Alex Danvers on Supergirl, and she most recently appeared as Alex Danvers on The Flash just after Supergirl ended over a year ago. That was actually in Armageddon. That's the last time we've seen her. So they're asking, what's going on with Kyla Lee? What is her next project? What can you see her in? Well, just like we talked about Melissa Benoist, how The Girls on the Bus is going to be a new show that is coming out this year, and also next year we know she's working on the Masters of the Universe animated show with Kevin Smith for season 2. Here's your update on Kyla Lee and what I know right now. So earlier this year, a TV show that Kyla had been working on after Supergirl ended was The Way Home. It's a 10-episode miniseries that aired on Hallmark. Obviously, Hallmark's not the most prestigious channel. It's pretty much just rom-coms and different shows along those lines. And so this aired in January until March. So you can go watch 10 episodes of Kyla Lee in the show The Way Home. There is some decently big cast members in the show, including, I'm sure most of you guys know, Annie McDowell. She's been in a lot of stuff. So that's the only project that, as far as I know, Kyla has worked on and has released. Obviously, there's probably some projects in the works for the future. But yeah, that's your update on Kyla Lee. Let's move on to the next question. And this is going to be one of the final questions. And so it's actually a pretty fun question from new subscriber Henry Andrews. Henry says, James Gunn, if he is suddenly fired as the head of the DCEU and you take his job, which DC characters would you bring into the mainstream that you feel need more exposure? So I just wanted to include this at the end because I think it's a really fun question, and feel free to send in fun questions. Maybe we can do like one fun question per Q&A video. And so yeah, this is just going to be me thinking, imagine I was head of DC, what characters would I bring in? What would I be thinking? So definitely, straight up, I have to say, you obviously include The Flash. I know the Flash film didn't do too well, but I would go, let's do Wally West rather than Barry, because we've seen Barry with Grant on the TV show recently. We've seen Barry with Ezra in the films. So I would go Wally West as the Flash. I would have Supergirl, whatever version of Supergirl, probably Sasha Calle, just because she was really good in the Flash. And then I would definitely do Green Arrow, because you've seen that dynamic really work in the Arrowverse. So I would definitely have those 3. I would include Martian Manhunter, I would have Batman, and I would probably have Wonder Woman to round them out. Obviously that is 6 members, so actually I kind of need one more person to round out like 8. Obviously there can be extra characters, but if I were to add one more person, maybe I would add like Constantine, someone with magical powers that would definitely be what I would go for. So that would be my Justice League team. But in terms of like what characters would I like to do films about, I think along the lines of the Batman, kind of more on the detective side of things, I would love to see a film about the Question. The Question is one of my favorite characters. He's such an interesting character, being a detective but also being good at fighting, and so he always wears this mask and like this really cool outfit. I think it just lends to films. If I were to add another project, definitely Green Lantern, of course. That would be really interesting. I'd definitely be making more Superman films, more Supergirl films, more Flash films, more Batman films. Obviously not doing the same as they've done before, but make it different. Justice League for sure, you know, build towards Darkseid or build towards Crisis on Infinite Earths. Then I guess sprinkled in you can have some anti-heroes like we've seen before. I would love to see Etrigan and Justice League Dark along with Constantine. Obviously we got Blue Beetle in the DCU. I love Blue Beetle, so I'd definitely include them. Also the Titans, have a Titans film, I think that would be great. And so yeah, that's kind of what I would be thinking about if I were crafting the DCU. Obviously I'm not really thinking about how well the box office is going to do, how well it's going to be received. I'm just thinking what characters are cool, who would I like to see on screen. So I think that's kind of the gist of Henry's question. But that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you want to be featured in any upcoming Q&A videos, please be sure to go to the community tab and leave a comment, question or theory down below. It can be to do with Superman and Lois, The Flash, Batman, DCTV, DC Studios, anything like that, or any delays. If you want me to go into proper detail, I'll be sure to do that. So for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and a comment. It really helps out the channel. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos if you guys are new around here. And you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video. And so I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.